know how sometimes movies will make sequels and the sequels don't do as well as the original movie because it doesn't capture the same charm as in the original movie? Yeah, that's what I feel like Moana 2 is. Hello everyone and welcome back to another new Disney movie review, at least at the time that I'm filming this video, because Moana 2 is finally here. It is finally on Disney Plus, and now I can watch it because I will refuse every single time to go to a movie theater because every time I went it has been horrible and expensive. So now that it's on Disney Plus, if you want to watch it, go ahead and watch it before you watch this video because I am about to spoil the entire plot, because first and foremost I'm going to give you a real quick recap of the plot, and then I'm going to tell you the things that I like, the things that I dislike, and then my rating. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. First and foremost, the plot. So as we know in the first Moana movie, Moana was just a regular teenage girl who went on this great voyage adventure to save their island and became a local hero. Saves the island, she saves her people, and now in Moana 2, she is literally a new local celebrity. The kids are dressing up as her. Everybody knows about Moana. Everybody knows that the Wayfinder, Moana, is a hero. She is not someone that you should disrespect. Moana now has a little sister, and they are super close. They are like absolute besties. She loves her sister loves her. It's very sweet. But we do see that Moana has a new driving force, which is that she wants to find more people, just like her people. She doesn't think that it's just her island and her tribe of people in the world. She wants to find more islanders like her. And she discovers by chance that maybe there is a possibility that there's others like her out there. And so she discovers the mysterious island here that has been sunk for many years. This island actually used to be like a waypoint for everyone. It connected all the oceans. It was like a gathering site for everyone in the ocean to come together. But a god got very wrathful and sunk it because he just hates humans. Literally. No reason as to why. Just hates us, which, can you blame him? And so the island is sunk. It has been disappeared. It has been vanished. It has been forgotten about for many years. And so Moana vows that she is going to find this island. She puts together a crew of a farmer, an old cranky man, a young guy who, oh my god, is he not the most... Wow. Anyway, I'm gonna stop before I start simping, but he basically is like the travel expert of like myths and legends. He's able to read ancient text. And then we have our genius over here, who I'm not gonna lie, I really like her as well. Puts together her crew of villagers and we set sail. But before so, we see how hard it really is for her to leave her new baby sister. They have a very close relationship. They are tight, and it is very difficult, and it weighs on Moana that she might never even get to see her sister again, because this is a dangerous voyage she's going on. She might never get to see her baby sister who she cares so deeply about, so it definitely affects her throughout the entirety of this journey. We see how she has nightmares of like her sister having to grow up without her, or just feeling like she was abandoned by Moana. But on this journey, we notice that Moana's team is not quite the team that she imagined. They all have their little quirks, and sometimes they don't quite work together, but they do end up getting into a bit of a pickle because a giant clam monster tries to eat them, and basically they kind of get washed into the belly of it, and they kind of have some problems called, just a little tiny problem called, getting shipwrecked. And so Moana and her team actually get separated for a little bit. Moana now finds the crow goddess, this lady that we have seen teased literally everywhere. She gets like maybe 10 minutes of screen time. Has a nice little song and dance about encouraging Moana to kind of free her, because she's kind of like Calypso in a way where she's imprisoned and she wants to break free but she can't. So she's like, Moana, go on this journey, because if you go on this journey, you'll be able to save me. And so Moana goes on to this journey. Halfway into the movie and we are finally finding Maui. So take that with a grain of salt for my review later. So here Maui is, and he really does not care about this team of people. He couldn't care less, but he does see, hey, that's that chicken that I know. That's Moana's chicken. Moana's here. Maui and Moana have a very close bond now. Demigod and human, very close bond from their travels in the first movie. He sees that Moana's here, her ship, her canoe, her raft is kind of shipwrecked, and her team is here and she's not anywhere to be seen. So he kind of goes into panic mode and helps them find Moana. But anyway, they are finally reunited, and Maui is actually one this time who is now giving Moana the advice that she needs to get up and accomplish her goal. She is kind of beaten down. She thinks she's putting everyone in danger, and now we kind of get to see the roles be reversed, where Maui is the one encouraging Moana in this movie compared to the first one when it was the other way around. Moana fills Maui in on her journey, and together they travel to the seas where this mysterious sunk island is, and Maui has the smart idea to try and raise the island up. But that just doesn't work, because the god who hates humans, he's not about to let that island come up easily. And so he tries everything in his might to prevent them from accomplishing their goal. And they don't. Basically, Moana's like, no, there has to be another way, because this isn't gonna work. When suddenly she realizes, maybe to get the island is not to pull it out of the sea, but to meet it under the sea. And so here she goes, diving into the water, swimming into the water, trying to reach this island. But the god takes note of that, and electricity, which is his power of storms, kind of like Zeus, and water don't really mix. And so as she is swimming desperately to touch this island, as her fingertips grace the island, a bolt of lightning hits her. And I guess we can kind of assume that maybe she even died here, because we see her body and it's not breathing, and she does not look like she's moving. So anyway, everything kind of comes up, the island is restored, everything's beautiful again, the stormy water's calm, but Moana is still stuck beneath the waves, and she doesn't come back up. So Maui dives deep down to find her. He picks her up and basically starts crying, because I'm assuming that she died in that moment. I don't know about you guys, but I'm assuming that she died. She died a hero in this moment. And as a Disney movie would have it, all of a sudden, her ancestors and even her grandmother come to rescue her. Not gonna lie, I did kind of start crying like a little baby, because her grandmother came back, and that was really sad, because she had a really good relationship with her grandma, and her grandma really believed in her. So it was really heart touching to see her grandmother come up. But anyway, the souls of her ancestors actually are the opening way to making Moana a demigod herself. She is resurrected, she herself gets a tattoo just like Maui, and now Moana has been resurrected as an actual demigod. She is just like Maui now. They raise the island, and on the island, they actually find people. Once the island is restored, the water starts spouting out, the pathways emerge, and people start coming. Moana figures out that yes, they are not alone. There are other people. She's so happy that she's finally found other people, and that her people are not the only ones. And this opens up so many doors for trade, communication for her people. She saved her people once again. Returning home, we see how she greets her sister. They run and embrace each other, and they have a happy ending. Everything's all good. Or so we think, because at the end, as always with Disney, they have to tease the next movie because capitalism. And we basically see that the Crow Goddess was not set free, and she's talking with the big bad Thunder God, and he is not happy. And it's just kind of teased that maybe this is not the last time that we'll be seeing them in the Moana series. So that is the plot for Moana 2. But let's go ahead and move into my review. I definitely think that Moana 2 has the sequel curse, where the sequel is definitely not as good as the first movie. So let's go ahead and talk about the negatives before I talk about the positive thing that I do like. And yeah, I kind of a thing. I'll talk about that. But yeah, I would not say that this is the best sequel ever, and I wouldn't say that this is the best movie ever. I definitely think it's enjoyable. If you haven't watched it, I do think that it is good enough that you could watch it, but do you really need to? it's not the best thing in the world. And a lot of that comes from the characters. I actually do think the plot was good. I think the driving force of the plot of Moana trying to find more people and connect her people to others out there is a good plot. I like that they're kind of expanding from the first part of Moana 1 and kind of taking that into Moana 2 and expanding, trying to find more people. First we have to save the island, but now we've saved the island, so let's go and try to expand and see and meet other people. I like the plot of Moana 2, but the characters absolutely ruin it. First and foremost, this character. The Crow Goddess ruined the entire movie for me, because I was so excited for her to be the villain. And I think the majority of the internet also thought that she was going to be the big bad villain, and yet she had like 10 minutes of screen time. She literally just kind of has a song and dance with Moana and pushes her out. We don't get to see her. She was teased so much, and she has such an amazing design, and yet we don't get to see her like whatsoever really involved in the plot. And I think that is a wasted potential for this character. It definitely feels like maybe they're saving this character more for like a Moana 3, but like why would you tease her so hard for Moana 2 if you wanted her for Moana 3? It just doesn't make sense to not give a big focus on the character that you tease. And I think they teased her a lot more than the actual villain god of the series. It's just weird. And her castmates over here, her crewmates will say, they don't share the same kind of passion for finding this island that Moana does. It kind of feels like they only came on this journey because Moana asked them to. Moana is a respected person in their village, and she's a friend of a lot of them. So she wants them on the journey because she knows that they will help her have the best chance of reaching her goal and getting to this island. But do they really care about this island? No. We see after the shipwreck that they are just kind of defeated. They're just kind of sad. They're just kind of bummed out because I didn't know this would be as scary as it really is. They don't have the same kind of passion and drive for finding this island that Moana has. And it kind of hurts to watch that because Moana is trying her best to get to this island and get this goal. She has this huge goal that's not just for herself, but for her people as well. But it feels like her people doesn't care. So it's like, it doesn't really, make me feel like they're a real team. There's like not a lot of synergy between them as well. Like besides the fact that they're like, two of them are like good friends with Moana, and then one's an older grouchy kind of guy who kind of starts to come around at the end. It just doesn't feel like they have a good kind of synergy with each other. It feels forced. I definitely think that the characters could have been written in a little bit of a better way to where they are more driven, or maybe they have a moment of impact of realizing why it is so important that they help Moana get to this island. Once again, I just feel like they're doing this, putting their life at stake for Moana because they care about her. And the farmer guy, I just feel like he was just kind of wrapped up into this, so he couldn't really get out of it, To get home safe, he had to just kind of chug along, but what do I know? It's not like I'm writing a book or anything. Next big problem that I have is the music. Disney's marketing strategy is music. Music is a huge feature in like just about all of their films, especially the Disney princess films, because music is one of those things that is going to sell because you get the song stuck in your head. The song is so catchy, it's so clever, it's so upbeat, it's just a good vibe. You get it stuck in your head and you can't help but sing it at work, at school, doing your laundry, in the shower. Moana 2 doesn't have that appeal. There are 2 songs that I can credit. Actually, you know what? We'll say 3. 3 songs that I can really credit in the first Moana movie that are outstanding. One is Maui's Demigod song. That is my favorite. Totally not because there was a Voltron cast, song covering it, parodying it for Voltron. Totally not. And 2, Moana's How Far I'll Go song. It is a deeply impactful song that shows just how willing and driven she is to go embrace the storm and try to help her people. And 3, Shiny, because it's fun. It's kind of the like silly song, besides I guess Maui's, but it's just kind of thrown in there. It's got a good vibe. The Shiny, it's just good. This one does not have that. I did not find a song that I am like, yeah, I could totally see myself putting this on my playlist. Why did I say it like that? Playlist. I will say, I think the Crow Goddess had my favorite song. There was a bit of repetition. I did find myself like, kind of humming along with it. I was vibing with it. But I think I was vibing with it more because, one, I like the imagery on the screen. I think that the video and kind of like the motions, the colors were really vibrant and encapsulating. But the song was just The actor's voice was amazing, and that's another reason. I love anyone who has a beautiful voice, and she has a very soulful, beautiful voice, that's Crow Goddess. But I just don't think that any of the songs were super standout-ish. Definitely nothing I would add to my playlist. Let's talk about the good things that I did like about Moana 2, like the sister relationship. Genuinely, I think the best thing that they did in Moana 2 was give Moana a little sister. I love the fact that it is still continuing the theme from the first movie about family and how important family is. Family was very important with her parents and grandmother in the first one, and in the second one we really get to see that expand to now her little sister. Moana and her little sister have this extremely close bond. They are inseparable, and the entire time on this journey, Moana is thinking about her little sister. That is what is driving her to get back to the island safely, to accomplish her goal, to get to her sister. That is so important to the plot, and I like that they kept that in, because once again, family is a very important thing that we see in the Moana movies. So I am glad that they added a new character. For once, I'm glad that they added a new character. Before I give you my personal ratings, here are some ratings that I have found from the Google, and I'm not gonna lie, Reddit is not happy with this movie. So first and foremost, IMDb is a 6.7 out of 10. Yikes. Rotten Tomatoes is a 61%. Even more yikes. And Metacritic is 58 out of 100. Triple yikes, because that's not good. It's not good that they're at least not in the 70s to 80s range, because there's always going to be people who don't like a movie, for whatever reason. That's not good. Those are not good ratings. Like, genuinely, I have to say, Moana 2 was not the best thing I've ever seen. It was not the best sequel, but I don't think it was horrible. I don't think it was a terrible movie. It did kind of feel like a cash grab. I felt like they could have spent some more time on the writing and developing characters and villains, and that would have increased, maybe my rating on the movie and my like of the movie. But for me, I would say the movie's okay. It's okay. It's bland at most, but it's okay. I would give it a 6 out of 10. Was it fun to watch? Yes. Did I find myself not super encapsulated by it? Yeah, the only parts where I was like, oh, I'm super invested in this scene is kind of the action scenes and the scene where Moana becomes a demigod, and like where her grandmother comes in. I did cry there, meeting her sister again at the end. That was nice, but there's a lot that's lacking in character development in this, and I know a lot about lacking in character development because my editor was not happy with one of my book characters, so I'm doing some soul searching with character development, so I think I'm pretty good to talk about that, not gonna lie, toot my own horn and everything over here. But yeah, not the worst movie, not the best movie either. But anyway, this was my review of Moana 2. Let me know what you think about Moana 2 down below in the comments. How did you feel about it? Did you like the characters? Did you think that the villains were okay? Did you like the villains? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Check out some of my other channels and stuff videos over here. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!